All right, good morning, everybody. Joe Van Doren here, and welcome to our Virtues Pick for today. It's a Monday morning, and we're so happy to be here. We have a word we haven't had in a long time, a virtue that came up that is something that maybe we all need to look at, and certainly I do. And that word that came up for us, the virtue that came up, was decisiveness. So let's read the description first, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Decisiveness is firmness of mind in taking a stand or making a decision. It requires us to be both courageous and discerning. At times, a choice appears and we must make it instantly without hesitation, prompted by a deep knowing that it is right and timely. Decisiveness can also call us to hold a decision with patience, prayer, and deep contemplation. We seek a pure intent, which guides us to a conclusion we can trust. Then one day we reach the bedrock of truth and know it is time to act. We move forward with resolve and confidence. Being decisive, we are content with our decisions and do not second guess ourselves. The timing of a good decision is just divine. So I love the way in the description the word divine is capitalized, and I think that that's something that we can just take note of, because decisions that we make can very easily be influenced by the universe. We can be moved to make a decision or to make a choice about something because of our connection to ourselves, to our true selves, and to the universe. And that's just a thing that I believe, and I think it's indicated by how we feel. So if a decision that we're making or a choice that we're making makes us feel satisfied and joyful and like this is the right way to go, it is more than likely the right thing to do. And I think that checking in on our feelings about decisions that we make is extremely important, because imagine, we talk about, I do so many classes on anger and anger management, and one of the first things that we talk about in that is not only just, the effects that it has on us and all those kinds of things, but also the one of the strong foundational principles of anger management is that anger is a choice. It's a decision that we make. We choose to go in a direction of demonstrating anger. And so our decisions that we make, if we were to think about that just for a moment, do I really want to be angry? Well, that's pretty low on the list of places that we want to be, right? We'd rather move that up a little bit. But we have that choice, but sometimes that choice is overridden by, our thoughts, our beliefs, our triggers, those hooks that grab us and guide us to doing something that we would prefer not to do. So when I think about being decisive, I have to really think about, okay, is this something that makes me feel good? Is it something that's satisfying? Is it something that's the best thing for me, both now and in the future? And then make that choice. Sometimes, like it says, it needs to be made instantly. But many times the choices that we make instantly, when really we should sit back and think about it just a little bit, that we should take a moment, right? Count to 10, as they say, or 100 or whatever is needed. Take a moment to contemplate, to meditate, to sleep on, to pray about, to really take and be patient, to see what is the conclusion that I should come to that's going to be the best for me and for those around me, but most important, what's going to make me feel the most joy. And we know that when we feel joy, it's because we're doing something that we're in alignment with. And so when that's true, then we can move forward with confidence and knowing that it's the right thing to do. How do we get to that point is very simple, and it starts with the 4 C's, with clarity. When we are clear about who we are, what we want to be, and how we want to be, and the desires that we have for our life, then we can also be very clear about the decisions that we make, and even ones about the emotions that we're going to feel. And I think we can very honestly say, I'm going to, at this place, someone has acted this way towards me, they've triggered me in some way. Take that moment and decide, I am going to move forward in this direction, and because that's what really I want and how I want to feel. And then we can feel good about the decisions that we're making and not second guess ourselves. I think this is extremely important for parents because as we become more and more clear about who we are, what we stand for, and how we want to be, and how we want to raise our children and discipline them, and what we want to teach them, and how we want them to be as they grow up, the clearer we can become and confident we can become in the decisions that we make. And those decisions will be divine. They will be from the universe. So how do we help our children with becoming decisive? I think one of the key things is helping them to appreciate that choices have consequences, right? And whether they're good or bad. And so if they choose to say, I want a chocolate ice cream cone, right? And then we bring that to them, and then they've changed their mind, then, we don't go back and get them another one, right? We a different kind. We help them, they begin to learn that decisions, choices have consequences, and, you chose this, and this is where we're going to be. If I chose to, or made, or forgot to, or made the mistake of forgetting my homework or forgetting books or something that I needed from school, we don't run to the school and get those things. We allow them to have the opportunity to think about the choice that they made, the lack of concentration on those important things, to move them to remember the next time. And, they're not life and death things, right? They're things that we need to help them to appreciate that their decision making can be made with thoughtfulness and with contemplation and coming to conclusions about what they're willing to accept, the consequences that they're willing to accept for them. So that's just a few thoughts on decisiveness today. I will be focusing on this virtue in a number of ways. And what are the decisions that I need to make? Some of them I'll be able to make very quickly because they're things that I've been thinking about, and others I will hold in patience and contemplation and move on just a little bit more slowly. But nonetheless, decisiveness is a virtue that all can really appreciate in ourselves and being able to move forward in our lives. So thank you very much for being here. I hope that today you will focus on this virtue, and in the future and as we go forward and until next time, keep practicing all of the virtues and the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. Until next time.